What's up, you guys? You are watching Real Talk TV. Please let me know if you can hear me before I get started. And y'all know how this goes. This is an open panel at the moment. Everybody's going to be sharing their thoughts, their opinions, um, possible evidence if you want. If you are somebody who's close to this particular situation, Um, I would love to have one of the members or supporter come up and share their thoughts so we can kind of figure out what's happening, what's going on. I always welcome my platform to any of the members or supporters as long as you are respectful. Um, I am respectful most of the time, but all of the time on my platform. Um, so I'm just gathering some things for you guys, just gathering clips. Uh Apparently the bond hearing that was mentioned and that was trying to be covered this morning, some truths about what actually happened surrounding that situation, and the information that was provided by the members. So we'll talk about that. We'll be really, just thinking about what's next. What is next for them? What is next for us? I am truly happy that this moment is here. So you'll see who really uh shines above the rest when it comes to content creation. You'll see who was truly loyal when it comes to followers or subscribers, and you'll also get to see who uh, truly believed that Eligio was God when it comes to his supporters and his members. Okay. Y'all know I do the most. I try to set you up for a feel of what is going to be going down. Um, I'm going to see if I can find the video. I know there were channel holders who said that they had the full video. I don't know where it is. I'm going to do my best to find something like the full video as opposed to like a 30-second clip of the judgment. We'll see. Okay. Okay, this looks like, oh, the T did post it 58 minutes ago. Okay. I don't know why I didn't get a notification, but I was recording, so I'm trying to get some things for myself together. So we're going to take a look at that. Shout out to all the channel holders throughout this whole process: Sweet Mind, the T, Mind Over Matter TV, other channel holders such as World News. Y'all know we had our run-ins, but there are some things, you give credit where credit is due. Um, who else? It's been a lot of channel holders, even some Beagle hosts. Ugh, I try not to bolster their ego too much. Um, but some Beagle hosts have been putting in the work. Let's see. Let's see who's in here first. Rhonda's back. Hey, Rhonda. Adelix. Hey, hey, hey. Uh, oh, thank you. I just weren't you in whose chat? You were in another chat. The T is the best because it shows the full force of the. Yes, yes. So we're gonna watch that one. I didn't know she posted that yet, but we're gonna watch that one. I give all my props to the T for allowing number one channel holders to use her content. And I say her content because she recorded it. Use the content that she recorded for their own purposes, and that is much appreciated. It's on Bigo, Messy Bigo. So Rhonda, on Messy Bigo, is it just that like 1 to 2 minute clip, or is it the longer one? I want to see the whole thing. I want to see both arguments from the prosecution as well as the defense, his attorney. Nosy. Oh my gosh, my boo. She said I missed everything. All right, we're gonna try to break it down today. Summer days. I agree. Whether we get along or not, we had the same goal to stop. Yes, yes, summer days. You got it. Um, and so all right, all right. Let me find it. What do y'all want to see first? Because I heard that I was going to show y'all the video. I could show you from Sweet Ma, but I was going to show y'all the video of Nature Boy rambling on and on to his followers about purification. I don't know what he was talking about, affirmations, and oh god, it was creepy about how he's affirming that he's going to be free. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, that's not how affirmations work. But okay, he was affirming that he is a good person, affirming that he um has already righted his wrongs, or fixed his whatever wrongdoings, and so he will be released. I don't have that, so I will have to go to another channel holder to pull that up. And then also I want to do the hearing with the T. So y'all let me know which we want to do first. He's done. He's done. Angela. Oh my gosh. I want to see true faces. That's what I wanted to talk to y'all about. Rhonda, what happened? Did he get no? Nosy. Okay. Nosy. I'm about to play it. Forget it. I'm just gonna play it. Okay, Adelix, we'll be here. Hopefully you can come up. I hope that you can come up. Let me find it. All right. Share screen.
Physically harm her and slap her before she could leave. When she attempted to leave the night of that day, the defendant brought her to his room and proceeded to rape her. She talks about how she told him no multiple times, that she did not want to have sex with him, but that he proceeded to do so despite her saying no. Specifically, he told her that she was his property and that he could not leave. The defendant then proceeded to rape her in the room. The victim disclosed to law enforcement how her body tensed up and she was not cooperating. And at that time, the defendant even physically had to turn her over to continue the acts of penetration. At that point, she was crying and wanted to leave, but felt like she could not leave because she was fearful of the defendant and because of how manipulative he is. They ended up going to sleep, and at the middle of the night into the early next morning, the victim was able to leave, and then she contacted law enforcement to tell them about what happened. When law enforcement receives this request, they then go to the house where this where the incident occurred. And when they go to the house, they encounter multiple individuals, approximately about 15 individuals. The reason they're going to the house is because when the victim came forward, she also tells the police that the defendant ended up posting sexually explicit videos of them engaging in sexual intercourse on social media as an act of revenge for her leaving the cult. And the kind of workings of the cult is important for the court to consider today because it does go to whether the defendant poses a significant risk to the community as well as to the victim. And what law enforcement has learned is that this defendant calls himself apparently God or three God. He refers to himself as the Messiah. and he's also known as Natureboy on social media channels on across different platforms. He refers to himself this way and orders other members of his cult or his followers to engage in physically abusive behavior. For instance, our victim who came forward stated on multiple occasions the defendant would order the women to slap her or hit her, and she was not the only one. He would also order other women to hit and abuse other women in the cult, as well as the men involved. Based on this, a lot of the members, including the victim, were fearful of the defendant, fearful to essentially leave or in any way defend themselves. She goes on to talk about kind of how he is manipulative over everyone involved and that the cult does travel. For instance, they've been to Costa Rica, Panama, and even Nicaragua, where they were apparently all kicked out for endangering and threatening the national security of those countries. They've also been to Puerto Rico and Hawaii. The defendant has an arrest from Hawaii and was forced to leave as well with the cult members. And in addition to the travel that this cult does under the leadership of the defendant or this so-called person that he refers to himself as God, we, the state, received an anonymous tip that the defendant did have one of his followers go to Mexico to essentially start setting up a place for him for that when he gets out in bond, that's potentially where he could go. While that was an anonymous tip, we did observe on social media one of his members in Mexico just recently, as a few days ago, confirming that he is in Mexico. And so I mentioned that to the court because it's all part of the cult's inner workings and how they operate and travel. The defendant was arrested for false imprisonment, rape, prohibition of nude or sexually explicit electronic transmissions, multiple counts, because he did post multiple videos of the victim and him engaging sexual intercourse on social media. And I will reiterate, she did not consent to those videos being posted on social media. He does have criminal history, and we'll go through each one of them. The first one being from July of 2006, a driving while license suspended charge. It was ultimately dismissed out of Monroe County, but the reason I bring it up is because he had a failure to appear on that charge. In February of 2012, he had a driving while license suspended out of Gwinnett County. In February of 2013, out of Rockdale County, he originally was arrested for an aggravated battery charge. It did get reduced to a battery, but it was a battery conviction. In January of 2016, he had an interference with custody and battery arrest. It did ultimately get dismissed, but I bring that to the court because of his previous battery conviction and then he being arrested for another battery offense. In June of 2020, he did have a conviction for violation of rules and orders out of Hawaii, which resulted in Hawaii requiring that the defendant and other members of his cult leave. In addition, what he currently has pending is a warrant for domestic violence charge and a temporary protective order out of Ohio. That is another location that he's been at. From what the state is aware, a former member of the cult who was also his wife.
So I guess what I'm gonna do, since I don't want to just lift up someone else's content and just stick it onto my screen, I'm gonna pause it every so often um and give my thoughts. So the judge that we thought that number one, True did something very deceitful, and I think he did it on purpose. And I'm calling it deceitful because I think he did it on purpose. He put on his website the wrong information to the hearing, mostly because I think he knew the outcome. And in knowing the outcome, he didn't want other people to see it. So he thought he could trick everyone so that he can misinform the public about what the outcome was. Save that for once I open the panel. I would love to hear what your thoughts are in the comments. And for those who plan on coming up, that is one of the things that we're going to be talking about.
At some point has a domestic case out of Ohio where she is the victim and the defendant is the perpetrator. They actually have a scheduled hearing for that May 16th. And so that is pending. I go through all that criminal history because not only do the facts show that the defendant is a danger or risk to the community, but also does his criminal history. He has a failure to appear. He has a prior violent conviction, and he has a current pending warrant for domestic violence out of Ohio. In addition, Your Honor, before I tell you about the other risk factors that the state's concerned if he's granted bond, I do want to read a statement from the victim in this case. She is fearful if the defendant is given a bond, and so I think it is appropriate. Before I do that, there are a couple of videos that I do want to show the court. And the reason I am showing the court these videos because it's to give context to what I am talking about. I will warn the court that some of the videos are offensive and explicit in language and assaultive conduct, but it's no more than 2 minutes, and it is important for the court to consider. So with the court's permission, may I play those?
Judge, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Let's see. Are you able to hear me now?
I can, Judge.
Okay, yes, and that would be granted. Permission is granted.
Thank you. Just be patient with me as I try to share the video. Your Honor, can you see this video? I'm about to hit play, but I want to make sure that you see a video.
Yes.
Okay.
Be grateful that you're here because they're very grateful. See the attitude on her face? That was a good one, so. That was a good one. Slap a bitch back to sense. Like, stop wasting our fucking time making this shit about you, ho. It's about me. Where my motherfucking legs and my toes and stuck on my toes. Bitch, fuck you. And you can say it's abuse, but please leave. Can she please just leave me alone? And it's abuse, but she won't leave. It's because, oh, it's mind control. But bitch, it ain't that much mind control in the world. Bitch, you doing it to yourself at this point. Bitch smack me, I'm gone. If you let a bitch smack you, you deserve to get smacked.
That is the first video, Your Honor. I am going to pull up another video, and it'll be my last one.
Can I just mention before I play it, because I know I have to stop and share my thoughts. I hope I do not ever go against an attorney with this amount of energy. Energy and passion convicting me, because she's going in.
Are you able to see this second video that I pulled up, Your Honor?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Fuck this phone, oh, fuck God, man. Fuck this phone, nigga. I made this phone, I made you, nigga. Ever disrespect, nigga. You don't think for yourself, you too. Like what? Now you listen to shit. Fuck up. Yo, sorry, bro. Wait. Help him out. Call the cops. I'm FBI. Fuck you, nigga. Even if you lock me up, nigga, guess what? I'm still, my spirit gonna live. So let's see what I'm telling you. Don't say shit. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter. You can fuck with you, right, boy? You can never stop me. I'm God. I'm no mafia, nigga. I'm God. The black man is God. Feel my motherfucker. Feel.
And Your Honor, the state plays those videos because it goes to show the power and control that the defendant has over the individuals that has been part of this cult and this intimidation and manipulation that he does with his members. It is a significant risk to the community. What's important also for the court to consider is that the defendant had followers of him record him while he was in the jail on a phone call and upload it to social media. In those calls that were uploaded to social media, he specifically tells one of his members to go and talk to the victim in this case. And he says, specifically, you need to make noise. Do everything you can do. Please go talk to her. This is an example, a textbook example of someone who is trying to intimidate a witness and intimidate a victim from continuing to come forward or pursue charges. What's also important to note from that video I played, he says, even if you lock me up, my spirit is going to live. And I think that is evidenced by all of this video evidence that's showing on social media. He is getting in contact with his followers, instructing his followers to essentially do things on his behalf from inside the jail. Can you only imagine if he is granted bond and back out into society, what he can do? I'm definitely concerned for the victim and her safety. And so I'm going to read her statement to give some context to that, Your Honor. But he does state, I am fully willing to testify in this case, even though I am nervous about testifying. I'm asking that you please do not grant the defendant bond. Can you please issue an order ordering him that he have no contact with me whatsoever? He is a danger to the community. He has abused many of the members of his cult mentally, physically, and emotionally. He's ordered people to abuse one another physically for his enjoyment and pleasure. I watched him whip a girl with a leather belt multiple times for 15 minutes straight, ordering her to kiss our feet while whipping her. He didn't stop hitting her until he felt like it and until she cried in submission. He even smiled while abusing her, quoting, "This is starting to feel good." He prevented me from leaving his home that night I wanted to go. He took me into another room after mentally abusing me for up to 2 hours and after ordering the women in his home to abuse me. He proceeded to have sex with me when I told him I did not want to have sex with him multiple times. He has done this with me on multiple occasions and have taken advantage of not only me, but a multitude of women who have come to him. He has no respect for the women that comes into his life and even has devalued, degraded, and humiliated them on multiple social platforms online. He's openly told the members of the cult to reach out to me to try to persuade me to drop the charges. I'm afraid of the power and control he has over his cult members, and I believe he cannot be in contact with any of them so that they can start to carry on with their own lives. He has slapped and abused men in his cult as well. He's been physically abusive to the wives to the point that one of them lost feeling in her hands after being slapped by him. If he were to be released on bond, I would not feel safe at all, nor do I feel the people who were living with him would be safe. Please do not grant him a bond in the interest of justice, the safety of our community, and for the safety of other victims who have and may never come forward. I am asking that you please decline this bond. So that's from the victim, Your Honor. I will go through just the 4 factors briefly as to why I believe that this defendant is a significant risk and that in looking at all 4 factors, he should not be granted bond. For instance, he is a risk of failing to appear or flee the jurisdiction. As I stated before, received that anonymous tip about followers setting up a place for him in Mexico if he was granted bond. And we were able to confirm on social media that one of his followers is in Mexico. In addition, as I stated,
You can't make this up. You know what I just realized? She didn't have to do much in terms of gathering evidence. All she had to do was go on social media. These are a bunch of idiots. Idiots. He has trained them to be complete fools. I listened to that video that she's referring to before they took it down, and he 100% said, I'm going to Mexico. Right after we know what is his name? Courtney went to Mexico, and then the other ones follow suit to Mexico. I'm gonna continue.
He's been to Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Panama, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, has a pending charge out of Ohio, had an arrest conviction from Hawaii, and apparently was kicked out of all the other 3 countries for security measures. He also has that previous failure to appear on that driving while license suspended that I mentioned before. He's a risk to the persons and the property of the community, his followers, as evidenced by some of the videos I showed to you and the other videos that are uploaded on his social media pages. Will do anything that he says. He's proven to be a manipulator and someone who has power and control over the followers in his cult. If he is granted bond, there is no idea what he will order his followers to do, especially since we have evidence that he's instructing his followers to contact the victim straight from jail. He's a significant risk of committing another felony, as evidenced by his history. He does have some violent history with a battery conviction and a pending domestic violence charge. But in addition, the evidence that we've shown to the court of the assaultive nature that he requires his members to take part of, if he was released on bond, then there's a significant risk that he would commit another felony or someone will on his behalf. I also will mention that there was another video on social media where he openly admits and states that he allowed one of his sons to touch his genitalia and play with it. And so there's also that concern for the children in the community. In his social media videos, he's also repeatedly said that he's above the law. He is God. He is nature. And so this individual who sees himself in this light believes that no one else can control him. He is the ultimate being, and he is the only one in control of anything. No laws that the court puts or no conditions that the court would put on any type of bond would ensure the safety of others or the community. And what's also most important for the court to consider is that he's a significant risk of intimidating the witnesses or the victim in this case. Specifically, he has been violent with her, he's been violent with other individuals, and he did tell her that if he wanted to, he could kill her. And as I stated to the court, he has instructed his followers to reach out to her. Your Honor, in looking at all 4 of these factors, there is no way that this court can grant the defendant bond. I understand that the defense will argue that he is alleged to commit these acts and that he is innocent of these offenses. But even outside of that, even outside of what he is part of in this cult and his actions as far as his criminal history and what he does in these videos and what people have come forward, he is a significant risk to the community and therefore bond should not be granted.
Thank you, counsel. Defense?
Thank you, Your Honor. The alleged facts in this case, they grab your attention, Judge. You might even call them shocking. But what I'm going to ask that the court does here is see past the allegations, because Mr. Bishop does remain cloaked in the presumption of innocence, as the court is aware. And instead, I ask that the court laser focus on the EALA factors and consider granting Mr. Bishop a bond. Mr. Bishop is originally from New York City, Judge. He moved to Atlanta about 20 years ago. He's been based in Atlanta ever since then, even though he has done some traveling, as the state spoke about. Atlanta is where Mr. Bishop hangs his hat. Mr. Bishop just turned 40 in the jail on April 29th. He did spend some time in the Army, Judge, before being medically discharged in the 2000s. After being discharged, he did get his high school diploma through Job Corps. Mr. Bishop has always been gainfully employed. He got his barber's license. After getting his high school diploma, he opened a barbershop in 2013. It's called Bishop's HD Cuts. He sold that business in 2015, Judge, but it's still local, still being run, although no longer by Mr. Bishop. Mr. Bishop does have a stable address in Decatur, Georgia. He's currently 1 year into a 2-year lease, Judge. That's where the warrants in this case were executed at that apartment complex in Decatur, and that's where he would plan to continue to stay when and if he's able to bond out of DeKalb County Jail. Your Honor, Mr. Bishop is suffering from extreme dental issues in jail. He has a tooth that is decayed down to the root that's causing him extreme pain. He has sought medical care for that situation, and all that he's been able to get for a response is that there's currently a long waiting list at the jail to be seen for that sort of issue, Judge. I understand that the state does have concerns about Mr. Bishop being flight risk. In order to allay those fears, the defense has no objection to house arrest being a condition of bond. We would not object to an ankle monitor. Of course, we would ask that the court allow Mr. Bishop to leave his house in Decatur to meet with his attorneys for medical care. For anything else, that's absolutely vital, Judge. Mr. Bishop does have significant support here. I believe his friend Aaron Dixon. Mr. Dixon, are you on the call? Might not be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm here.
He is. This is Mr. Aaron Dixon, Judge. He is a friend of.
I'm gonna play this out to its full capacity, but pay attention to the fact that Aaron is on the call. Pay attention because I'm going to bring that up during our discussion.
Mr. Bishop, he's here to show his support for Mr. Bishop. So in light of Mr. Bishop's significant ties to the area, in light of the fact that he has been a productive member of society and that he has opened a successful business, sold it, in light of the medical issues that Mr. Bishop is currently dealing with in the DeKalb County Jail, we would ask that the court grant a bond in the amount of $50,000. As I mentioned, we have no objection to house arrest, to a stay-away order from the alleged victim in this case. And again, I just would like to reiterate that we'd ask the court to see past the allegations in this case because that's what they are at this point, they're allegations, and instead focus on the Ayala factors, which we think weigh in favor of granting Mr. Bishop a $50,000 bond, Judge.
Judge, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. And the person named Nisi, Nissei, if you could please mute yourself. Thank you.
Okay, are you able to hear me now, Ms. Sunnycott?
I am, Judge. Thank you.
I apologize. My voice tends to waver at times. Having heard argument from counsel, the motion for bond is going to be denied. I do find the defendant to be a danger to the community, a risk to intimidating the victim. There's also a risk of flight, and also the risk of committing an additional felony. So therefore, bond will be denied. That will conclude its hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor, and that concludes my business before you this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Our next.
And there it is, you guys. That is it. That was all. I'm going to drop the link. Come on up, y'all. Come on up. This is a place where you can share your thoughts, add your input. You can disagree if you want. Be respectful. And you can share your testimony as it pertains to this situation. Let's see. All right, the link is there. The link is there. The point I want to make before people start coming up, because I'm gonna try and be as quiet as I can and let you guys speak. But the point I wanted to make is that Aaron, aka True, he knew that they were not, that the judge the link that he put on his platform was not the correct link. He knew that, which tells me he knew that where this case was going to go. I am so curious to know if this was a public defender. I didn't get that part. Somebody can let me know if they recall whether or not the defense attorney was a public defender, because it appeared that he literally had no interest in seeing his client get out, go free. So so that is what I wanted to point out there. I mean, he literally had no interest looking at the paper. Just could care less. Another thing to point out is that they so what's going to happen? What's going to happen to the cults after this? Other cult leaders, they're only going to perfect. Nature Boy has done nothing but made it possible for other cult leaders to cross their T's and dot their I's. So you all and the people around you need to be more diligent on how to recognize individuals like him, because they're not going on social media. This is the fastest takedown of a cult leader I think I've ever seen in American history. All right, let's see. Angela. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, thank you, Sonic. Thank you, Noel. Angela, are you there? As we wait for Angela to figure out what her audio, more people are welcome to come up. Y'all, come on. Now is your chance. Say how you feel. Say what you thought. What did you think about the prosecution? How did you think she did? The fact that she's a woman, I think somebody put that in the comments. A woman. If you look at some comments from old videos, from videos that other people have done, I was reading the live chat in other videos, and you want, hey Berta, hey, how are you? Come on up, Berta. I always see you in on the T. Berta is one of the T's moderators. She's so pleasant person to have up here and express her opinion. I wish the T could, if somebody could send this to the T, tell her to come up and share her thoughts. She has been going hard, and I would love to hear what she has to say on this matter. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't want to talk about this anymore. If you have subscribed to my channel only for carbonation, I'm so elated to let you know that you won't hear daily or even weekly reports on this situation, because what the community has achieved has been done. It's here, y'all. So yeah, we got to get back to being our best selves. Okay, Angela, it's all good. It's all good. As most people at work, I'm only home. Well, I'm home, and my children are sick, and I wouldn't say a stay-at-home mom, but my job is a little different. I work for myself. Berta said I'm shy. Berta, what if I told you? No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not shy, but I'm kind of shy. I'm almost shy. So this is, if you are shy, if you are not used to expressing your opinion, your voice, sharing your voice, this is the platform to start. I promise you. I promise you. Because if somebody says something harmful, they're gone. But if there's a difference of opinion, um, and you're being respectful, I don't care what that opinion is. The prosecutor was awesome. Yes. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. Oh, so like I was saying, in some of these past videos that I've seen, these lives, um, what I was reading, oh my goodness, when I did that interview, go check it out, y'all. I did an interview. The T allowed me to interview one of the members, two of the members. One of the members in particular was Kite. And I'm just going through, looking over old footage and to see how I'm going to structure my live. And what I noticed is people were in the comments saying, I wish Nateri would go back so that she can become informant, so that she can take him down. I swear you can't make this up. And then someone else said in another live, another video, imagine if the prosecution is a woman. I'm telling y'all, manifestation doesn't work the way Alicia think it works, but it works. I often go back and watch the Lost Boys and Lost Girls of Carbonation. You did a great. Thank you. I can play that for you guys if you want. If y'all want to quick, a little. It's very short. A backstory of the people who are left to wander the. Okay, this is one of the things we also need to address. The members of Carbonation. What happens to them now? What happens to them now? Some of them are left in Mexico, have migrated to Mexico in the hopes of Eligio getting out. What does that mean now? We know that he's not going to be released out on bond anytime soon. It could take up to 2 years or more for him to even go in front of a judge to fight the conviction or the charge. So one other thing to point out is the defense attorney said that they have a 2-year lease on the Atlanta home, and they were only there for 1 year. Think about that. $3,000. Remember, the landlord said the night of the arrest, $3,000 a month is what they were paying. 3,000 times 24. That's how much money they were spending on housing. Does that mean that the existing members, are going to split up and go back to the communities they came from? And if so, does that mean remember, you guys, there was not speculation, but accusations from previous members who stated that they had, situations, medical situations. And it was almost a blessing and a curse that these members were stuck where they were. Because they didn't have the opportunity to spread whatever it is that they have. But now they're back in society without their leader. What does that say for your niece or your nephew, your son, your daughter? Let me read some of these comments. I went all the way back to watch the old videos. Yes, You got to go back, y'all. It's time to go back. And I'm going to do, I think I probably do one more like video. I won't do a live, but I'll do a video for anyone, and just put it up like I did my other videos. For those who are interested. Yes, play them. Okay. Okay, Angela. So I'm going to play for you guys to remember. This is what's being left out of all the chaos. Here is what's going to be left to have to pick up the pieces. These are the people. Give me 1 second. Channel. I'm gonna say open. I'm so silly. Videos. Oh man, where is it? Where is it? Oh, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. If you want other, it's going to be other content. Please subscribe to my channel to support the channel. I do have another page. It's called the Davis Family Way, DAVIS, the Davis Family Way. And that is where I'll be most of the time building my brand, I guess. Where are you? Where is it? It was so long ago that I did these videos, and I didn't have, when I say I didn't know that they would become this way. I was a nobody. I didn't have any following. Probably 15 people, I remember. Probably had 15 subscribers. Let's see. I did one on Natureboy. I did two on Natureboy. And then I did these ones about the members. Okay, here goes one.
After saving what...
Let me share my screen. I just want to say in advance, I know Solar's real name is Courtney. Please do not ask me why I said Stacy. I just don't know.
Customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual, I customize everything. Like Marco's backpack.
At a time when most universities look like this, the founders of
Aaron, after serving 4 years in the U.S. military, Aaron decided to leave and instead join Carbonation, indulging in a love triangle between the cult leader and a female member. At the behest of Natureboy, Aaron would admit to sexually assaulting and molesting 2 of his family members, later admitting that he only said it to fit in with the group. Dalen was an outstanding high school student with the promise of becoming an outstanding college success story. As the son of a high-ranking military official, Dalen knew what hard work meant. It was the perhaps unexpected death of his father that led him to Natureboy. Leaving 2 young children behind, Dalen went to Carbonation and never looked back. Surprisingly, Dalen found love within the cult, resulting in a child. but would soon have to choose his cult leader over his new family when the female member decided to escape. Tracy.
This all ties into knowing thyself. If you don't know yourself, then you won't know what makes, you gotta know what makes you tick. You gotta know what makes you smile. You have to know what you want in life. If you don't know what you want in life, you're just gonna be handed whatever.
Armand. Young and impressionable, Armand was the most vulnerable, looking for a father figure. Struggling with his sexuality, Armand decided to have a child with a female member. Not long after, the female member was kicked out because she refused to get an abortion or sleep with the cult leader Natureboy. Till this day, Armand has chosen his cult over his child. D. Dedrick.
I've been there, and I had a thought that came around that was like his daughter was walking around, and I was having the evilest thoughts, reflection. Like I had a thought like kill his daughter, like type shit. Like that thought had crossed my mind, like kill his daughter, like literally, like no bullshit. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, but I kept it inside. Like I didn't tell him because I didn't want him to think I was crazy.
Ishmael. This once high school athlete decided to join Carbonation after a lifestyle of drugs and petty crime. Little did he know he would be stuck in a fantasy of a narcissist, malnourished and deprived of being able to love anyone. Logan. Like Alicio, Logan was adopted by a white family, and unfortunately he felt unwanted and out of place, so he decided to join Carbonation, becoming the cult's strongman. Suffering his own set of abuses, but eventually leaving the cult to begin his true journey of self-healing. Amar.
This is more ideal. This is more of what I prefer to do. You know what I'm saying? And I was never one. I never look at reality like I have to settle. I don't look at reality like I have to settle. I'm a Venus and Leo. You know, I get the luxury. I enjoy the royalty. You know what I'm saying? I don't like no fucking like half-ass shit. You know what I'm saying? I desire luxury, royalty.
These are the lost boys of Carbonation. Men forever stuck in a childlike state of mind.
I stepped on a scale and said I was 224 pounds.
So that was that was the video that I did on the men. What people don't understand is, I mean, I get what some people say, like they've all done something explicit, they've all done something probably criminal, maybe in their past or during their stay at the cult. But we also have to factor in that these are young people, young adults. Our lot there we For the ones who have been on the straight and narrow, kudos to you. Thank you for being a productive member of society. But what do we say if we have little to no empathy and compassion to allow young people to mess up but get themselves back together? And the fact that they chose to go to this place unknown to them, unknown, searching for a chance to right their wrongs, says so much. They wanted to do better. They wanted to be better. And instead he ended up digging into their past, exploiting their pains, monetizing their talents, and forcing them into a cycle of the traumas that they've experienced and the ill wills that they committed. Thank you, Noel. Thank you. There's one for women. It got the most views. I still don't know how that one got the most views, but I can play that one as well. Hello, Redbone. How are you?
All right, babe. How you doing?
I'm good. It's been a long time. How you been?
Yes, baby. I can't complain. How do I turn the camera off?
It should be a little button that has the shape of a camera. Let me see if I can turn it off for you. Let me. I cannot. If I can, let me see. Nope. Do you see like a little camera? It'll be
I
like
don't.
there you go. You got it.
Yep. This
Okay.
new. They
Talk to
must
me.
have. They updated the program.
So this is I'm on Restream.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a little different than StreamYard.
Okay.
So talk.
So how do you feel about the uh the verdict for today?
Um, I wish that I could have seen Eligio's face when it all went down.
Mm-hmm.
There have been
Mm-hmm.
other bond hearings where the defendant is present.
Yes,
I wish this was one of them.
that's right. Me too. Because it's not a game now. It was a game in the other countries. And he can slip through the cracks. But he messed up when he went to Georgia because that is the state do not play games.
That's what a lot of people said.
Yeah,
Um,
see, I'm from North Carolina, and the laws and rules are different down south, because they don't play that, because even South Carolina, they didn't update like other states did. They still in the old ways of doing things. So it's new laws as well, especially towards a woman down there. He done messed up.
how do you think the prosecution? How do you think they did the woman?
Um, I really think they did a great job because they gotta have something in order to be able to keep him. They gotta have a lot of evidence. They got to, because come on, they had helicopters. Everybody was there. You know what I'm saying? So this got to be something deep that we probably didn't even realize that was going on.
Right, right. Because a normal can charge like this wouldn't
Hmm.
require helicopters.
That's right. That's right, baby. Because I've been following this since the beginning, right? And you know how we have our own opinions of things. I always thought, like, is he human trafficking, or what is they doing? Is they, doing things illegal? Is he using those men to break in these high class houses and stuff like that? Because you know how they was doing Airbnbs and stuff, like
Right, right.
like what are they doing overseas? Because they gotta be doing something overseas for them to be able to afford to live the life they're living as well. Where is the money coming from?
Do you
You know?
remember? Do you remember when they were in? I want to say it was either Mexico or Costa Rica. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there was a news report
Mm-hmm.
about them possibly smuggling. You know what?
Yep.
Uh, and got busted for it.
Wow.
And
What?
this was a few years ago. This is around the time when I first started reporting on them, started making videos. And
Mm-hmm.
I had the video. I took the video down. My children's father speaks Spanish. He translated it for me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it said that they had been caught in the middle of a transaction.
Wow.
In the eyewitness, the eyewitness pointed to the picture of the group and said, yes,
Mm-mm.
it was them. Does anybody remember that?
No, you gotta play that.
I don't have it. I deleted it because
Dang.
I went through a phase where I
Yeah,
was done with carbonation,
yeah,
like we all go
yeah,
through.
yeah. You go throwing the clean. You was cleansing.
Yeah.
You got to. You know. Wow. So if that's an article, we can look it up and find that. You know, because wasn't it on the news or something like that?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so we should be able to find that. But I always thought that they got to be doing something illegal, and he was on some type of drugs that he can't get over here. You know, like what are they really doing? This is not no knowledge. What it really is the knowledge.
That's right. Ivy is
You
here. Ivy, what's up? And so, for those who don't
see?
know, Ivy gets down to the nitty gritty when it comes to the pathology and the psychology of
Mhm.
this man.
That's right.
Yes, ma'am. But before I go there, I got a little song to sing about this whole entire thing. Like to hear it?
Hell
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Here it
Oh
go.
yeah.
It's been a long time coming, but I
Sing it, baby.
know a change gon' come. Okay,
Sing
okay,
it,
that was
girl.
it.
Sing
Just a
it,
little
girl.
taste, just a little
You
taste.
just
But
demonetized this whole live.
why you? You should
Yeah.
have
You
said
know what? I'm gonna
girl.
keep it up. I'm gonna keep it up.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, uh, okay, so like I said, it's been a long time coming.
That's
I
right.
think I
Mhm.
said this from the beginning. They destroy themselves. Who
That's
was
right.
with me in the room when I said that? Some of y'all been in the room with me when I said that. For a minute, I
Yes.
said, sit back. They destroy themselves. They always
That's
do.
that's right. That's
Don't
right.
attach to that emotionally. Tap out, go
Mm-mm.
outside, enjoy your
Mm-mm.
families, live your
That's
life,
right.
and
Take
come
your
back
feelings
every once
out
a
of it.
month, every other week or so, and watch him
That's right.
decline.
Yes.
They don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know how to treat people. This is how the narcissists
Mm-mm.
act.
Yes,
As they
they
get
do.
older and older and older, their relationships get just worse and worse.
Yes.
Their tolerance level gets shorter and shorter, so they don't have the tolerance
Yes.
to actually love bomb people. So then when they get in their 40s, they go straight into the manipulation. They go straight into
Hmm.
hurting people. We watched it in real time.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes. Yes. And you said it right. A lot of people have feelings in it, and you gotta take your feelings out of the situation. So in order to see it clearer, you know,
Right. That's
That's
right.
right. That's right.
you
Mhm.
right.
Read this comment. Somebody says, "Where's the death certificate for Zoga's baby?" And you know
Yes.
what I believe is that now it's almost like stamped. You know that he's not. It's a wrap, and I think the women will start to fall off, and
Hmm.
there may be possibly a chance for them to start really telling their stories.
Yep. And check this out, y'all. The baby would have been a year old last
Oh,
month. And where is Solar? Solar went. I think Solar went back to show them where the baby body was at.
I mean, the wonderful thing about it's not really wonderful. There's some travesties all around the plate here.
Hmm.
It's young folks losing great portions of their youth,
Yes.
their minds, right?
Hmm.
And the way they perceive the world. By the time they come out of the smoke, they'll be clean into their 30s when they have that, wait a minute. Even if they have that
Yes.
moment, that wait a minute moment, they won't truly believe it until they're clean in their 30s and they take a look back and they be like, he really took advantage of me. And they feel some kind of
Hmm.
way about that. right?
Mm-hmm.
But the wonderful thing about the situation is that the next year or so before his trial, they will have that moment of breath. They will have that moment
Mm-hmm.
of thought. They will have that stillness where
Mm-hmm.
his manipulation and his critical thoughts that he puts into them is no longer his words. They're no longer regurgitating his ideologies, his thoughts, his feelings about them. They get to
That's
sit
right.
back and process about them, make that process about themselves. Now, the
Yes.
unfortunate thing about that is if he still gets to speak to them from prison, he will still be able to keep the women together for a very long time. And so they'll have this what you call a codependent relationship among each other. So they'll cling to each other for a very long time. But that won't last if he get like a maybe a 10-year bid or whatever. That won't last. But I can definitely see them staying together for the next 2 or 3 years. Very likely. Very
Mm-hmm.
likely. Because they're so embedded into that indoctrination, their mind is so gone. So it's likely that
Mm-hmm.
the women will stick with each other for another 2 to 3 years to come. We will see. It could be shorter than that. We
Yeah.
don't know. It really just really depends on who is really the most committed to being there for him. So now
Mm-hmm.
we will see. We will see. But the good thing about it is he's not there, and they may slowly wake up one at a time. And let's be
Yeah.
hopeful about
That's
that.
right.
And
Yes.
that's all we can ask
Yes.
for. Yeah.
Yes. That's so
What
true.
do you think about the fact that True misled everyone to believing that the hearing was going to be on YouTube, number one, by a different judge. The only thing that was correct was the time. Do you think that was intentional? Do you think that was a way to kind of deviate people from being able to see the real hearing?
Uh Possibly, or maybe he didn't really know himself, but you know,
Because he was
true.
there. He was at
Oh yeah. Yeah. See, so True is going to start this process of putting up smoking mirrors. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand, if you True is he's very cunning when it comes to this terminology about perceptions. He likes to play mind and word games with people. If you
That's right.
notice,
Lie.
he really enjoyed the indoctrination that he learned through this Nature Boy, because Nature Boy taught him
Yeah.
these real pseudo mind tricks
That's
about
right.
how to perceive the world, and also how to kind of manipulate people thoughts about them. So it's kind of like they put up these delusional walls around themselves, and then they gaslight people so that people cannot penetrate their thoughts, right? Besides
Mm-hmm.
Nature Boys. So they only believes his doctrine, and everybody else, he kind of plays this gaslighting game. So when you come and talk to him, he will kind of gaslight you and make you kind of question, what are you saying to him? Right? So he loves
Yeah.
that manipulation. He learned that through Nature Boy. And he's really indebted to him because of that. He's
Yeah.
indebted to him from teaching him that. He thinks that Nature Boy has enlightened him and showed him a way of thought in this lifetime and on this earthly plane. But technically, what he learned is how to be a narcissist.
Mm-hmm.
He enjoys it.
And,
He
That's
really
right.
and
enjoys
the
it.
sad and the sad part of it, he's drinking alcohol. And alcohol mixed with that is not a good. He wants to be like Nature Boy so bad
Yep.
until he'll do anything. And you seen the video, I cut off my hand for you. What?
Right.
What
Right.
person would say something like that? And then in return, he wouldn't cut off his hand for you.
That's a good
Yes.
point to make.
Yes.
He
You
wouldn't cut.
absolutely.
Not only would he not cut off his hand, he wouldn't do something simple and basic. He likes to refer to himself as Jesus or the new reincarnated Jesus. But
Yes.
in the Bible, where Jesus comes from, um, it talks about Jesus kissing his disciples' feet.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'll never see,
Right.
you would have never seen that. And I think that's why people like True really got into the indoctrination, because
Mm-hmm.
they want True wanted that kind of power. He wanted that kind
Mm-hmm.
of people to worship him the way,
Yep.
and even if he didn't outright display it in his inside of his core,
Mm-hmm.
just worshiping this man gave him pleasure in believing that he too could someday be worshipped
Be
just.
that. Yep. But think about it. Remember when they were separated, he was in Georgia and they was in PR. Solar and True was in charge when he wasn't there.
That's right.
So that gave them a leverage up to know how it feel to be the boss, to run the code.
So I'm getting ready to look up what are the next steps. What do y'all think the next steps are going to be in terms of legality?
Mm.
I don't know much about the law, so I kind of always like to hear other people take on that. But I would assume that because the way Georgia is set up, it's likely he won't see a judge for the next year or so to
Mm-hmm.
even have his court date in general. Then of course, then we will see what happened by then. So I don't think he would get what you call a speedy trial, right, before his peers, But I think that but if he hire a good lawyer, he can get that trial kind of speed up. I don't know. I mean, I've been trying to do a little research on that, and I'm very ignorant when it comes to the law. I try to avoid it. But
Mm-hmm.
if anybody can add some
No,
insight to that, that would be great. But
right.
I'm just assuming that he won't see a judge for at least a year before he get in front of a judge to be
Yeah.
indicted.
So I just looked this up. Let me know if y'all want me to share it. Matter of fact, I'll share it for you all.
Okay.
It says, and again, this is a live where we're just discovering things as we go.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all just sharing whatever you can share with that. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Any input? No judgment here, y'all. It says, if you are denied bond, and I typed in what happens after bond is denied in Georgia, and it says if you
Mm-hmm.
are denied bond, a preliminary hearing is typically scheduled within 15 to 30 days. At this hearing, evidence is presented to the magistrate judge to determine if probable cause exists for the case to move forward to prosecution. The issue
Mm.
of bond can be revisited. Interesting. Maybe I won't be going nowhere.
That's right.
There it is. If a person is arrested in Georgia and taken into custody, they must be brought before a magistrate judge within 72 hours. Remember, that was his initial, that initial, when he was brought before
Yeah.
the judge denied bond, bail.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of this first appearance hearing is to discuss the issue of bond. The judge must be shown that the accused is not a flight risk, is not a threat to themselves or the community, will not commit other crimes while out on bond, and will not intimidate any potential witnesses. If these requirements can be shown, the judge may issue a bond in any amount he or she feels is reasonable. For some very serious offenses, only a superior court judge is authorized to grant a bond, and that is what we saw today.
Mm-hmm.
That
That's right.
that superior court judge is the only one who could have done that because of his charges. So what's
And
next? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
and he told Solar and them to get in contact with the witness.
That's right. That's right. Um, which leads me to this next paragraph here where it says, you are entitled to be represented by a lawyer at all essential stages, no matter what, blah, blah, blah. If the judge denies bond for any reason at this first appearance hearing, all is not lost. If you are denied bond, a preliminary hearing is typically scheduled within 15 to 30 days, which I just read. Is that the preliminary hearing, could that be coming up next?
I would assume so. But then he got some very different circumstances now when you think about it, right? So I don't know.
Okay, he done been up twice, right?
Yeah, he been up twice. The first one is the 72 hour one, which is in front of magistrate. Then the second one,
Mm-hmm.
which we saw today, was let me see where it was. The second one was in front of the what was it called? Do y'all remember? Superior Court judge.
Superior.
Yeah. So after the Superior Court judge, if it's not if he doesn't bond out, then he'll go in front of, and then he'll have a preliminary hearing, which will be coming up in 15 to 30 days. So what were you in May?
Mm-hmm.
So sometime in between May
Yeah.
and June, we'll
Mm-hmm.
see something else. It says if bond is denied, then sometimes you will be allowed to petition the Superior Court. If bond is ever denied outright, you may not request bond again for 90 days and must show a material change in circumstances warranting the granting of a bond.
Mm.
So then obviously then we won't hear about him going before a judge again, but for at the very least 90 days.
Correct.
Because his circumstance wouldn't have changed before then.
Correct.
That's true.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he
Wow,
gonna be
wow.
sitting close to a month, 3 months.
Wow.
Mm. But you know,
Yeah,
it's even with these girls, they gonna fall. I think the one that's really gonna take it all away is Zoka, because she really truly believe that he is God. She really do, you know. And it's sad. Like I read their energies and spirits, and Zoka was really messed up before she even got there with her own demons. So he just add more wood to the fire. The
Mm.
rest, the rest of them, I think, will fall off. But Miss Zoka, she gonna wait because he is her Christ now.
Right. Right.
Let's see now.
And no matter what happens, the people who truly worship him,
Mm-hmm.
they just made him a martyr to those people.
Yep. Yep. And then with them saying we have the same mind and same this and same that, they gonna be looking at them and investigating them, because I think they really going through the case and the videos and all that. And you know he probably done video them doing crimes and different stuff like that. So if they knew better, they would have did like Mr. Solar, got their tail on and sitting down somewhere.
Do you think Solar truly left to follow his own path, or do you think he was setting it up for Nature Boy to go to Mexico, being
Yep.
that Nature Boy actually did that video, that weird bizarre video that I'll show you, um about how he's going to take his women and get them all pregnant in Mexico.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Oh, I didn't see that. But it's quite possible, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's 50-50. I think he went, or a combination of both. He definitely went and to enjoy himself. I don't think nobody stopped him, but he probably did use the premise of I'm going to go up there and set up shop. So when you come out, you know, you could come to Mexico, and then they all agreed to that. But he's really enjoying himself far too much. So I don't think they wanted him to do that, to enjoy himself far too much. But I don't think he would never turn him away. Let's put it that way. He will
Mm-hmm.
never turn him away. He
That's
will not.
right.
He will never turn
That's
him
right.
away. Yep.
Cause see, Solar and True was his right hand man.
That's
And
right.
Solar left with all that money. They said over $200,000. Where they get that money from?
Hey, y'all, that's my
Exactly.
cousin in the chat. Say hi to my cousin.
Hey, cousin.
He
Hey.
from Texas, them southern states. Those police officers, law enforcement, they already have
Uh-huh.
a bias against you. Why would
That's
you
right.
add on to it with such terrible behavior?
That's right. That's so true.
That's so true.
But you know, they young and they kids and they don't even know what they doing. They and even when they talking, if they knew how to read and smart, they would be quiet. They wouldn't even be talking about the case. They would keep everything on the knowledge, so-called knowledge.
Yeah.
But the more they talk, the more they dig in the hole for him.
That's so true.
On the news saying this and that. You shouldn't been on the news doing nothing like that. Cause now these people looking at y'all.
Yep. I'm going to share another. This is a news article.
Okay.
Okay. What is all this spammy stuff? It says bonds and oh, they talking about it. Hold on. Let me mute myself.
Okay.
Bond this morning. Eligio Bishop was arrested in April, accused of rape, false imprisonment, and sharing explicit content online. DeKalb County police say he ran a cult out of a home on Arbor Chase in Decatur, and the judge denied his bond, saying he believed Bishop was a danger to the community and may try to intimidate his alleged victims.
Mm.
It says an alleged Metro Atlanta cult, Eligio Bishop appeared virtually. Let me see. That's it. Is that it? Oh, here we go. Harbor Nation is his cult. He's been whooping girls, beating girls, ver- uh, fertilizing girls, getting girls ready for marriage. A female neighbor said, "What?"
What?
Female neighbor said this. How much y'all want to bet? If the female neighbor was that woman who came out and
That
was like,
Russian lady. The
"Yeah,
Russian lady, the neighbor.
lady."
Oh, that Russian lady was not playing with them. For real.
Oh no,
She
you
even
know what?
called she called on the show. Did you see that? It told him to
Yep,
turn that music down.
yep. You know what? I just realized. I know who said this. It was them people from Bigo. It was them
Oh yeah,
people.
yeah.
Remember, he was like, "Oh yeah,
Greedy.
he's fertile, greedy."
Greedy.
Wow. That's crazy.
I had to do what I did. That's crazy boy.
All right, keep talking, y'all.
He was
Give me 1 second. Y'all can keep talking.
yeah, but he was telling the truth, Ivy, because he do be whooping the girls. You
Yep.
feel me?
Yep.
And they was getting violent by slapping each other on camera and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Like he was really losing his. But listen, he felt that. Do you believe that too?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, like
them
he like he had some intuition about what was happening, what was gonna happen.
that's right, but he
Yeah,
didn't know how. He felt the walls closing in on him
of
and
course.
all that. Because if you can go back on the videos and you can see what he's saying. And he talked himself into a jail cell. He
Sure
always
did.
was talking about prison and the jail doors locking and unlocking and all that. Talked
Yep.
himself. And we got to be careful with our words because God give us our heart desire. So when you
That's right.
speak some things, it's gonna come looking for you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
Oh yeah.
saying?
Yep. And them narcissists have those codes that they have a little bit, they have intuition like anybody else do. And a
That's
little bit of
right.
that cold empathy, so they know that what they're doing is wrong, and they're just not making the choice. That matter
But
of
you're right.
free will that we all have within ourselves to do
Mm-hmm.
something right. They don't make that choice,
Right.
right?
Right.
Noel, you
That's
asked a
right.
question. I got you. Noel wanted to know. I'm looking for your comment, honey. I know you said you got a question for me. Will True be able to submit to another leader like Gaggett? Uh, no,
No.
not technically.
But
No, he won't. See, they all think they're their own god anyway. So see, what True is doing, True already thought he was like a second in command, and
mm-hmm.
that worked well for him because it fed his ego. So right now, he has a responsibility for Nature Boy, which he's not going to give up very easily. He's actually
Mm-mm.
the type of person who will stick around for the next 10 years,
Yeah.
calling himself being the new leader of Carbon Nation until his God is out of jail. And as long as he have the women to lean on him, he has a purpose. So you got to realize most of
Mm-hmm.
these people are there because they in their minds they serve the purpose. They feel like they actually was serving a purpose. These people
Mm-hmm.
are not actually dumb. They went there for community. They went there for purpose. They went there to look for their higher selves. A lot of these young people are looking for an answer to spirituality. They're looking to be enlightened.
Mm-hmm.
They don't trust their families. They come from broken homes. And even if they came from great
Mm-hmm.
homes, they don't trust the institutions that they come from. They don't believe that they don't love what you call a world order, right? In terms of they don't believe they should have to pay bills for the rest of their life and work for the man. And these are things that
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't sit well with them. So, when they run off and try to find these answers, and then you got this grown pimp talking about, I'm
Yes.
going to take care of you. He's nothing more than a malignant narcissist, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to give you the answers to your life. And I got the secret sauce. I got these 5 scientists come to me, and they do so. They really think they're serving a cause. Serving a cause. They really do. And then you got that community that they have a new family now. They have a new purpose
Mm-hmm.
now. So all of them
Yep.
are spreading out, but they think they're really spreading out. You got to listen to most of them talk. They think that they're above everybody.
Yep.
He indoctrinated narcissism into them. They
Mm-hmm.
all think that they're better than everybody.
That's probably scarier than. I'm sorry to jump back in.
That's
I'm
okay.
gonna mute myself in a few seconds. But what's scary is the fact that he indoctrinated narcissism into them as adults. Because if you look at narcissism as the condition, usually it affects people in childhood because of circumstances that happen in their childhood. There has to be maybe more research done as to what the long-term effects are for someone becoming a narcissist at the old age of an adult.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Is there a willingness was it already in them, or um or the willingness to become like that, to believe that you're better, you're higher than, the grandiosity. What happens now in terms of them navigating through the world as regular people?
It's
Well,
gonna
see,
take time.
yeah, and I mean, it doesn't really technically mean they're narcissistic. It doesn't mean that they're narcissists. You understand? They're following a doctrine. They're following a pattern of behavior. They're regurgitating. They're walking robots
Mm-hmm.
they live as an extension of him. So their thoughts are
Mm-hmm.
constantly going to be, what would Baba G do in these circumstances? How would Baba
Yeah.
G react to this conversation? What would Baba G want me to do right now? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not
Mm-hmm.
technically them being narcissistic. Conditionally, he indoctrinated a pattern of behaviors, and he told them, now live like I would live, be how I would be in this circumstance, right?
Yep.
And so this is how they feel like they live. They feel like they found that they got the answer from him. And so now they live according to it. So they become extensions of the narcissist. But that's how the narcissist want everyone to be an extension of me. Live how I would
Mm-hmm.
live, think how I would think, talk how I would talk. and then you have officially did right in the world, or you've done right by me. That's what happened.
Wow.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. So, okay, so here's the thing. These people are going back to their homes. Oh, why do I say this? These people are going back to their homes eventually.
Mm.
What can we expect? Number one, what can we expect? And number two, what does that mean for the what do you call it? The level of STDs that are out there.
Mm.
What it like, I mean, everybody who's come back, and I've said this already earlier in this live, everyone who has come back or left says yes, there is something floating around.
Mm. Sure is. Because they had it where they didn't know the disease that Malia had. She had so many.
Well, yeah, they're going to go into the communities, but they're not going to see. I mean, they're not going to see disease as the biggest issue for them. They now
Mm-mm.
have to go into. They now have to go into this so-called even though they already been in Babylon, but they were still in their own bubble. So now they got to
Yes.
go outside of that, and then now they have to sever their ties of their codependency. You have to realize they were all, not only they were codependent on him, they were codependent on the group structure of the cult and the mechanisms that the cult has. Right? They
Mhm.
became codependent of that group as well. So when you sever those ties with those with that group, it's double the it's really hard on them emotionally and mentally. So when they go out into the world, they just feel like a fish out of water right now, right? But
Mhm.
the way they gather their strengths and the way they cope with the world will be always to remember his doctrine until of course the world starts to seep in. They got to get jobs, or they're going to realize they can't really be dependent on other people. They're going to have to actually become members of society. Then of course all of that will kind of fall away, and then their higher self, all this knowledge, this talk about higher self, what truly is the higher self is the super ego. The super ego will
Mhm.
creep in, and the super ego will say, hey, don't you want to do something for yourself? Don't you want to go back to school and get a degree? Don't you want to have children? Don't you want to have a husband? Don't you want to have a wife of your own? These are the sentences that the super ego is going to creep in on them and tell them through the course of their, as they start to grow into themselves again. And if they're strong enough, they will listen to that voice and they will do something about it. Okay. And if they're not strong enough, they will reject the super ego. They will reject the voice of the actual higher self, and then keep on thinking about what Baba G would want them to do in that circumstance. Right. And then there'll be no
Mhm.
growth. They're just existing. They're not living. So it's really up to them where they take it.
Cause how long have it been since what's the girl name? She was she was in Mexico with them. No, Costa Rica. Bambi. Y'all remember Bambi?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I remember Bambi.
Her mind still is bad.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm multitasking because I got my little
Okay.
ones.
That's
Okay.
okay.
But yes, I remember Bambi as well.
Yeah, she's her mind still bad. Like she's still worshiping him.
So Bambi is to me, Bambi is another who can I associate her with? Bambi is another, I would say, Zoka, because see how Alicia was able to manipulate and really control them and create this
Hmm.
probably lifelong um infatuation and love for him is
Hmm.
they really immerse themselves in his so-called teachings.
Yep.
The rest of them are just there for either clout, for sex, for things that can be replaced.
Not the knowledge.
Exactly.
I mean, we have to be mindful of the ones that he loved the most or cared for the most, because those are the ones he typically abused the most too.
That's
You
right.
understand? And with that
That's
being
right.
said, they are least likely to be the ones to get out of the spell. At least it's going to take them a little bit longer to get out that spell, because he abused them more. He manipulated them more than the rest of them. People think that somebody like Malia would be the first one to go. I mean, I beg to differ. I think that it'll be somebody like Efru or Aya. Why? Right? Because he had no real physical connection towards them. He might have went months or so without actually engaging with them physically. So there's no real ties there, right? And they know that. They know that. But so they might wane away a little bit. But somebody like Soka or Malia might stick around a little longer than the rest of them.
But you know, Aya and Fufu was the tattletale. They always was trying to tell something on the other ones for him to give them praise or like, you know, or even engage with.
Yeah.
So they didn't really want to prove I'm loyal to you. I'm down for you. Like, you know how young girls think and not thinking right.
Yep.
But I'm gonna go back on I'm gonna go back. Remember we was talking about True and Google. What's his name?
Gaga Google.
Yeah. He believes in Nature Boy as well. He was one of the members of he was one of the members as well. Because check it out.
Okay, can I share my thoughts real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
So with when it comes to Phi, they used to call him what I noticed is before he really started hanging out with Eligio, he didn't support hardly any of Eligio's beliefs. In fact, Nature Boy was the one who was pulling and incorporating what Phi was learning, and that was the world is all mathematics. That's something that Phi got, and his real name is Nate. That's something Nate got from the person he was following. So Nate was following some man who was a mathematician. He was using that information to exploit his knowledge and also, you know, bring in women for his own sick purposes. Him and Eligio, I don't know when they met, I don't know how they met, but however it happened, a lot of the conversations they used to have were low-key disagreements. And something happened. I think maybe the Phi guy, Nate, he probably started admiring the amount of control that Nature Boy had over his followers.
But check it out. Nice was told what time it was.
Yes, she did.
I seen the video, and even though she was talking in phrases and stuff, I understood. Now, remember when they was in Hawaii and they got sent back, and they didn't have money because they spent all their money to go to Hawaii, right? Niza said Nature Boy sent her to Nate to pay the price that Nate donated and gave to him. So she said that she was sold to Nate for the money that he gave Nature Boy to get back on his feet. So obvious she was saying like they sex trafficking and stuff like that. Yes.
Do y'all think that it is possible that charges of sex trafficking can be added on. And the reason I say that is, like you said, look at the people he associated himself with.
Yep.
Nate,
He
he
was a
associated
customer.
with TKO.
Yep.
Um, and it was this other guy who he used to kind of deal with. What was the guy's name? Wavy P.
Something. Yeah.
And then
Yep.
it's one more, some Yakin. Yakin.
Yeah. Is my God. Because check it out. Nigel said as well. She said, you see how people leave and come back. They're not leaving. They get put with that man or the guy that they're with. You know, like Natira was doing, and we see her over there with this one and over there with that one. But she come back to Nature Boy. You get what I'm saying? So he was sending them to the different men.
That's
And
horrible.
yes, and they were paying Nature Boy for the
Oh,
girl.
I hope that's not true.
That's what Naja said, you know?
Oh,
Yeah, she said she got sold to
That's
Nate.
very possible. I wouldn't see why would I. There's nothing that points out to me that it couldn't be true because when you Nature Boy has no respect for women. They're property. They're
Mm-mm.
property to
And
be
you see,
used
he
at
got the
his
stamp.
disposal.
right.
You know, they got that stamp of his name on their butt, right?
Yeah,
I
and
want to
then
say
So,
real quick. Can I say real quick?
yeah.
Daniela, please, y'all give your prayers for the whatever you believe in. I don't know, but whatever you
Mhm.
believe in, please send your prayers out for Daniela. She's a
Okay.
survivor of narcissistic abuse as well.
Oh
Um,
my God.
yeah, and I have where Ivy go? She must have had a call. I had a I have an IG, but it is not
Mm,
related to this particular channel. It's
okay.
related to my business.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
for that was for Gizzle. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
But you know, it's like when we see the men around, they are the customers of Nature Boy. You know what I'm saying?
Are the customers or they the plug?
Yeah. Cause yep, like you said, as nice as said, when you see us leave and come back, they don't be leaving. You feel me? They just go do his job that he assigned them to do, and they come back. And
Right,
so I was like, oh wow, we was thinking they was, you know, leaving and coming back and fall back down and come back to him, but that's not the case.
right. So for the people who don't know, and you've been following for a while, for about almost what I say, 3 or 4 years, maybe more, right?
That's right. Since they was melanation,
Wow, wow, wow,
yeah,
wow. And so
yeah,
that how
uh-huh,
most people started realizing that in fact they weren't going anywhere is when Aya and what was her
raw,
name? Thank
raw,
you, Ra. When those two women supposedly left and
went to that hotel.
went to the hotel, googling, laughing, and trying to, I guess, pretend like they were by themselves, but it was a terrible, terrible ploy. And in fact, I think Pops is one of the people who
Yep,
told us, when we left, we came back because we left something, and I was dressed all pretty, sitting
yep,
there
smelling good.
smelling good.
Sitting in a corner. He said, "You would have missed her if you didn't look." Yep. He said, and
Wow,
he think they was prostituting,
wow.
trying to get that money up. Because remember, they pretended they was leaving
Yep.
right around, and they
Mm,
went. He set them up in the hotel to make money. And remember,
yes.
that's when he cut all their hair off to look like a little boy. Remember?
Yep. He did. Because he claims it was because of Velvet.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted everybody to look like Velvet.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
hope the
right.
charges are added, then Daniela. I hope the charges do get added. Um I'm just
Yes.
excited for today. I really am.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So,
um,
it's like we've been watching it. I've been watching it since Uncle Black.
okay, okay.
So, mm-hmm. That's how I know he's real tough.
I used to
So
be in the chats before I created my own. I created my
that's
own.
right.
I'm not going to say the channel holder's name, but there was a channel
Mm-hmm.
holder who was very disrespectful.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Very
That's right.
disrespectful. And I said, I
Yeah.
don't
So I
I
stepped
want
back.
yep, I want to create a space where people you don't have to
Go through that.
donate to the Cash App in order for to them to recognize your
Wow.
content.
And he was just as worse as the person that he was
Report.
following.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yes.
true.
Yeah, my husband had to get on here. And see,
Mm.
my husband is a foreigner. He'll tear his ass all the way up.
Oh, see, we about to go somewhere else because when people tell me things that intrigue my mind, that stimulate my mind, I start asking questions.
That's right.
What country is your husband from?
He from Africa.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. He that kind of foreigner.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I said, he don't play that disrespect. So
No.
when I'm on the phone watching, the videos or whatever, and if I go up on the, panel and stuff, my husband be there because I'm speaking with a man. So he stay present as I'm speaking. And so he heard him yell at me and he was like,
Mm.
"What?" You feel me? He was like, "Ho, ho, ho. First of all, you're not in our home and you not finna direct my wife. Like, you
That's
got
right.
it all jacked up, brother.
Right.
She got a man. This
That's
ain't no
right.
boy. She got a man. And I protect mine at all costs." And he was like, you're not going there no more. Don't get up on that panel no more because I don't want to have to knock on nobody's door.
Okay,
Yeah.
but this brings me to my next question. What?
Uh-oh.
And this is for no, not you. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna stay out of your business for now.
Okay.
And this is for the people in the chat as well. What's going to happen? What is the next step, or what does the future hold, do you think, for the channel holders who devoted so much of their channel, like me, to
Mhm.
um to Eligio?
I mean, I think it's gonna be a clean start. See, with you have so much different type of content that you can bring because I'm already trying to see what your book about.
Oh, thank
So
you.
yes. So you
You
can
know what? I
focus.
forgot all about to plug my book. I forgot to plug
That's
it.
right. That's correct. So you got somewhere to start, and
Right.
engage like on a positive note, even though it started off rocky with that, and that situation was rocky. Now is your time for people to see who you really are, which is a beautiful butterfly.
Oh, thank you. What do you
Hmm.
say to the people who used Eligio as a come up? Like, I want I'm
Yeah.
trying to
I
refrain from
mean,
using people's names, but
yeah.
channel
I
holders who really enjoy the drama.
I think that's really sad because you should never want to feel exciting from others' pain. You know, I didn't look at that for that. I prayed for the people that's in the situation, you
That's right.
know, and in any type of situation with your channel, you keep control of your channel. You do not allow the content to control your channel. And some people got lost in that.
Mm, that's deep. That's real deep.
Hmm. Yes.
And then lastly, what do you say to the viewers? Everybody who's been watching, who became obsessed, who um I mean, there's so many different type of viewer. What do you think
Hmm.
is gonna happen with them?
I think this the time now for everybody to clean it out, clean out your brain. Just like we clean our house, we got to clean our brain up as well, you know. And I think that you see the brighter picture of it, you know, the better picture of it. Find something that's positive to do instead of want to watch something negative. And you know, when we doing that, we bring that into our lives, you know, because my grandfather always say, if you hang around millionaires, you become that. If you hang around broke people, you become that. So if you hang around negative energy, you're gonna become that.
That's
If
right.
you hang around positive energy, you become that, you know. And we gotta clean our brains up and stay more focused on our families, because this is the time we need to really, really focus on our families.
That's right. A lot of those women and men. I'm gonna play the
Hmm.
video of the women. It's a very short video. It's less than 2 minutes
Okay.
long. But as we move forward, you might see some of these people, depending on where you live, you might see some of these people walk down the street,
Hmm.
in the
Hmm.
space that you're in.
That's
Um,
good.
and so we have to remember that they're real people. And I encourage people, and yes, this is a plug, but at the same time, for those who know, I wrote this book, 15
Hmm.
Steps to Finding Love, A Woman's Journey. I wrote the book because of what was happening within
Wow,
carbonation.
that's good. That's amazing.
I had no clue how to help them except the only way I knew how. And
That's
I
right.
have right. My talent is writing.
Mine
Um
too. That's
okay.
crazy.
Bam, the bam chicka wham wham.
Yeah, we got to get together. You got to help me out.
Listen,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna put Ivy, can you put my email in the chat? Can somebody put my email in the chat? Y'all know my email.
How I see the chat?
Oh, you can't see the chat?
Uh-uh.
Right, it's fine. Somebody gonna put it in the chat and then I'm gonna just put it on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, but the chat is usually like a little it looks like a little I want to call it a square maybe, or a rectangle. Oh, thank you, Alyssa. A
Yeah.
rectangle, um and it looks like it has little scribbles on it or something.
Yeah, because how do I get the book?
You want the book, so you got to go to Amazon. You can go to Amazon to get
Okay.
the book. Um so I
Hold
I,
up.
I was doing them directly from me because I have books, but the shipping is just too outrageous. So,
Okay. Okay.
but
So
yeah, it's
Amazon.
called 15 Steps to Finding Love, A Woman's Journey. When I tell you,
Mhm.
if these women could read that book,
Yeah.
it will help them not to experience that again. It will show them the questions they should have been asking when they met him. We have to protect ourselves, y'all. We have to protect our children.
We
We have
got
to,
to.
yeah.
Yes, we got to. Because monsters look just like us now.
Say it again.
Monsters look just like us now.
Mm,
For real. So we
mm.
gotta be careful. For real. Okay. Oh, yep, I got it.
Okay, you got it.
And look, it's MD.
Uh
Your initials.
oh yeah, my initials is MD. Yep.
Okay, I got it.
So here is
Got it.
this is my wait, you said my initials on what? For my book?
Yeah, I'm
Oh
saying
yeah.
your name.
Yeah, you can say my name. That's fine. See,
Okay.
one thing about me, I don't have nothing to hide because, you get these channel holders who got these alternate lives.
That's right. Hmm.
And how can you truly be an advocate with all these alternate lives? Yeah, mama.
Okay. Yep. That
All
is
right.
so real. Let me
I'm gonna
see.
take this.
What's this? No thanks.
Noel said if they get that big okay, they will heal. Yeah, yes, 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 yes.
Hmm.
It's a step-by-step tool that is easy to follow and is perfect for people who aren't uh, these comments who aren't perfect. I mean who aren't heavy readers, sorry. Real Talk TV, it will walk them through. Yes, it will. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Um
But see, I sat back and like, where were their elders? Like my
exactly.
mom and my aunts and all that, my elders lead me. Even if I go the wrong direction today, they will help me get back on track. Like, no, you're going the
Redbone,
wrong
how old are
way.
you? How old are you, Redbone?
45.
Okay. So you're not old at all. Um
Mm-mm.
so what I'm noticing is the generations after us have no one.
Mm-hmm.
They have no one. And so what's happening is that it's easier for men like Eligio, men like
Mm-hmm.
TKO and Nate Five, Goo Goo Gaga, whatever you call him. It's
Mm-hmm.
easier for these men to prey on young women.
Yep. And look at it. They prey on the ones that don't have family, been
That's right.
adopted and stuff like that. Already done been through situations.
That's right.
So that's who they prey on. They don't prey on women like us because I got a family. If I move and something wrong, I'm gonna use me for an example. I got shot with an AK-47 in my back, okay, for catching a ride. And with that sent an uproar in my family. So they had to lock down the county trying to find who shot me in my back. You see what I'm saying?
Hold on, rewind. You got a ride from someone?
I caught a ride for one of my friends
Uh-huh.
and we were driving through and guys were shooting at each other.
Oh my
And
god.
the car we was in got shot up, but I got shot in my back with an AK-47 and it exploded. That bullet explode. So it opened me up.
Mm.
And my friend that was in the front had to like help get climb from the front to the back where I was to help me. Hmm.
Oh my gosh. And you
Yeah.
know what's so fucked up is that the same men out here telling us women need to bow down and all of this and obey
Hmm.
your man. Where is that
Hmm.
same energy for men out here doing these things?
Yep. Yep. But you know what, babe? Through my situation, I
Right.
forgave the person
That's right. You have to.
because in order for me to live my life, even if what you was to slap me in my face, I'm gonna forgive you. It may take time, but I'm gonna forgive you because regardless of right or wrong, sometimes people only know what they know, and they was raised a certain way and wasn't raised the same way you were. So you have to forgive even in the wrong. So like I said, even through my pain, agony, and all that, I had to forgive that person in order for me to live. And I was in a wheelchair for like 7 years and I'm walking.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Oh my.
Yes, I'm
Can y'all
walking.
please give y'all prayers as well, please? For
Hmm.
Rebel. We
Yes,
go
baby.
through a lot. We go through a
Look,
lot.
and guess what? One thing I had was my elders. And my mom said this one particular thing, and I always have in my head. Your mind make your world go round. So if you believe you're not gonna walk, that's what's gonna happen. If you believe you're gonna walk, that's what's gonna happen. So you create what you want. And I said, I'm gonna walk, and I'm walking.
That's right.
I'm walking.
Optimism, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Mhm.
You see how God, the universe,
Yes,
the highest of the high. There is something out there, y'all.
that's right. That's right, baby. Because one thing we gotta know, I mind our minds make our world. Just like you wrote that book, you created it. And that's what we do in our lives. We create if we want to live in heaven or hell. We create it, you know? And it's even like my pain. This is what I look at as my pain. I look at my pain as I can feel I'm alive. Some people can't even feel their pain. It's numb now. But I thank God I can feel my pain. And I use that for my strength to keep pushing on for me to make the world a better place because it starts with me. Real talk.
I'm sorry. I was talking to you and it wasn't even, I was muted. I was telling you that you are a brave woman. And I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for you to
Yeah.
even to get so vulnerable. Noelle has been up here. Ivy has been up here before,
Hmm.
sharing their stories, their testimonies, their triumphs
That's
over
right.
adversity.
That's right. And
And I'm go
I
ahead.
look at life like this. You know, people, we go through things so we can tell others how we made it out. How if, like you said, if you've been in an abusive relationship and stuff like that, they don't know no better, but you know it's wrong. So with you knowing it's wrong, when you get out of that situation, you had to go through that situation. God had you go through that so you can help someone else get out of their situation. You see what I'm saying? It's even like people that do drugs and stuff. People look at them as bad people, but God taking them through that situation so they can help somebody else get through it.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
bigger than us. It's bigger than us.
Mm, mm.
Mhm. And we got to do better, y'all, because we got these babies looking at us. We got our kids and our grandkids looking at us, and they looking at us as their heroes. So we got to be great so they can be greater. Because it's just like this. You're standing in line, right? Your children standing behind you. So you walking, and if you stop in the midst of the track, what your children gonna do? They gonna have to stop.
That's right.
So if you keep going and you just keep going, they right behind you. They're gonna be pushing you to keep going. Even though how they be getting on our nerves and making noise and doing all. That's to keep us going, so we can keep going for them. You know.
Wow. There y'all have it. I mean, we at the 2 hour mark. Um,
Yes.
I hate to leave y'all. I really do because we get so much out of these lives that was unintentional.
Yes. Yes. Look, and I got my book. I tell you that.
Please, okay, we
Thank
gonna
you.
have a live just to talk about what is going down in the book,
Yes.
how we can take what we learn from the book, myself
Hmm.
included. I'm always learning from that, from my own book. Um,
Yes.
what we can do to not only build ourselves, but
Yes,
the community around us, the young
yes,
girls who are growing up who need us.
yes. And let me tell you what you can do. Everybody get the book. Everybody get the book. And then as we read in the chapters and stuff, we come and discuss it.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? And so what I notice helps as well is taking like people who are in the public eye and really like kind of dissecting
Hmm.
those relationships to show examples of what it is we need to work on, what it is that needs to be
Yep.
worked on.
Yes. She teething.
Yes, yep, she
I
teething.
know.
Everybody in the house has the who knows what this is. It's some kind of
Yeah.
virus,
Yep.
except for
But
my
guess what?
older daughter.
You gotta keep them. You gotta keep them with fluids, which is water, and boil some honey and cinnamon, like a how you drink a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, you know, boil that up with some bottled water and have them to sip that when it gets warm. Sip that because that builds up their immune system. And with her teething, you can get an egg out the refrigerator, right? And put it in one of her socks and hide it in a room that she be at all the time where nobody can
I heard
find
about this. Is this like this is along the spiritual lines, right?
it. It's an old folk remedy. And
Mm-hmm.
then she won't go through no pain and stuff like that with cutting her teeth. They'll just keep cutting, She and then you see her mouth like, oh, you got another teeth. But it's an old folk remedy. You get an egg out the refrigerator, put it in their socks, hide it up in a like you can do it in a closet in the corner somewhere where ain't nobody gonna look or find it. And she won't even be in no pain cutting teeth.
Yep.
hmm And for that too as well, when they lay down at night, cut an onion up and put it under the bottom of their feet
Mm-hmm.
and then put their sock back on, so it can be up under their feet and that'll draw all that out.
Yeah.
The clothes and stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you want to do it the old way, old remedy way, all you need is an onion. Just cut it up and
I'm
put
about
it
to
under.
try something because they've been sick for this entire week, so they driving me
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So that's what you do, baby. That's
Okay.
what you do. And like
Wow.
I said, even
I'm so
if they're older, to be able to drink out of the cup and stuff, do that. And if they drink out the bottle, just pour it in a bottle.
so
Some warm honey and cinnamon. Like take a spoon and fill the spoon up of cinnamon and put it in the water, let it boil, a little bit, and
Red
then
Bone, you
when
know
it
what I just
cool
thought about?
down,
What I just thought about. I think we should also have different discussions on these things, like the different
mm-hmm,
the old versus new remedies. Which ones
yep,
work? Which ones? You know what I'm saying?
yep,
Um, we
because,
yep,
because you know why? Because everything in our seasoning cabinet can heal us.
because it's a herb. Because they're
That's
herbs.
correct. That's correct, baby. We don't have to go to the doctor. The
That's
first
right.
time I ever went to the hospital, baby, is when I got shot. And I was scared. I didn't know what was going on. Because we didn't believe in that. My family's still on the old folk way of living. They didn't update themselves. Some of my families don't even have cell phones or don't even know how to use a cell phone. You understand? Because they don't want that parts of life or want to open that door in their lives.
Right.
You know? But yes, I'm very old fashioned. And I know anything that's in my cabinet can heal me of a situation that I'm dealing with, even my pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do that. That'll be cool.
Yes, it will, and I think, and I hate that I have to go, but, I
Mm-hmm.
think but please keep in touch with me. You have my, Gmail.
Okay.
You have my email for Gmail. Um,
And you gonna
w
keep the chat up? Because I
Imma
can't
keep
see it.
okay. I'll put it
Okay.
back up. Let me give me 1 second. It's some kinda craziness in my chat room, and I'm trying to
Okay.
delete it, but it's not working. Oops, something went wrong. I don't know why it's not letting me get rid of this.
Well, just once this over with, put it in the the comment part,
Okay.
so I'll be able
Yes.
to get it.
So,
Yeah. So try that out,
okay. Let me
and they'll
see.
get better. And give them orange juice and water. Keep the fluids going. The build you be trying to build up the immune system to fight out for whatever it is
Oh,
that they
okay. Thank you,
sprayed in
Ivy.
the air.
Right. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me if you can see this. Wait, where'd it go? Ivy, can you put the email up again? Because I got one hand cradling the baby, and
Okay.
then the other hand is trying to type and it's not working. But
Okay. I'm gonna tell you this. You just spell it out.
okay. It's for
Hold up.
FOR.
Okay. I mean, hold up.
Here we go. For the cause.
Okay. You said FOR for you put.
Can you see it? For the cause dot you.
Hold on. Okay. For the cause. Uh-oh.
Thank you, Ivy.
For the cause dot you.
Yep, for the cause dot you period. However
Uh,
people
yeah, got it.
recognize it differently. At
Okay, I
Gmail.
got it. Yeah. It's okay. I'm finna email you so I have it.
Okay. Look at this. The old way is better. This is what somebody said. They know about it. The old way is better. Um Old school versus new school. Instead of versus,
Yes.
I feel like it should be old school combined with new school. Uh
Yes.
Men like to, I'm not going to say that, not all men, but there are a group of men who have infiltrated our community who like to divide. And I say, in order to fix that, to counteract that, we instead of dividing, we have to combine and
Yeah,
create connections.
that's correct. And as well, this is what my elders do. We
That's
meet
right.
up. We meet up once a month, and they can help us to show us how they've been married 40 years, 50 years. You see what I'm
That's right.
saying? And we can help them and spice up their marriage.
That's
So,
right. That's right.
my aunts and stuff, we talk, we sit down, talk, and we be open with each other.
That's right.
And they tell us the stories of their situation, and we tell them stories of our situation, so they can learn
That's
how
right.
to be a more spontaneous wife, or.
Mm. We got this. All right, y'all.
But
Pay
I
attention.
emailed them.
Huh? Do you Redbone? Do you have a channel?
Um, I do, but I think I'm gonna start uploading some videos now.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
but
you let us know, and we're gonna show you some support. Okay.
yeah, I emailed you, so I got the email and I ordered my book.
Okay. Oh,
And
thank
love
you.
you and take care of the baby.
Yes. Hugs and
Yeah,
kisses.
yes, I emailed you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming up. I really appreciate it. Listen, you don't know. Um,
Yes,
I was so happy to hear that you came up, that you were
yes,
coming up.
babe. And I enjoyed you guys. I enjoyed you guys, and I love you guys.
That's right. That's right.
You know,
That's
so you take care and have a great weekend. And I know you're gonna
and
come live.
celebrate that man is incarcerated.
Look, no,
Ah,
look, stop it. We got to do it with love because
okay. Okay.
that's what he giving. He giving the negative. We got to do it with the positive.
Let me
God
say
bless
this.
his heart.
Let me say this. All that love that you made them tat on their face after
Yep.
slapping them in their face, I hope you receive
Mhm.
all of that love back.
Look, and don't seem like the jail doors popping open. I don't feel like Lord forgive me.
The same love that you gave those people who truly looked at you
Mhm.
as a savior, I hope comes back to you as you
10 times
wash up,
fold.
and please do not drop the soap.
Thank you. You know, he might like to drop the soap.
Oh,
Look, he
that's right.
probably have him in line, honey. You
All right,
have him in line.
let me play this video. Let me play this video as we head out. Ivy just
Okay.
dropped the link for anybody. If you have a story that you want to share in the future, listen, we're here for it.
Yes, yes, and I love y'all. I really do.
Oh, love you too. We love you too, Red Bomb.
Mhm.
All right, y'all. Have a wonderful day.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know how to get out.
All right, I got you. I got you.
Okay.
All right, I'm getting ready to play this last video as we close out. It's always a pleasure when I go live. I don't know why I don't expect these things when I know the people who come in are, man, energy and positive vibes. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can find this video. Um
Mom, can I make some churros?
I'm still live. I'm still live. Let's see. Okay.
Since the boys are there sick,
Okay. Oh, here it is.
After
Let me share my screen.
Even with customized car insurance from Liberty Mutual, I customize everything, like Marco's backpack.
Jet planes in the night sky with you, getting high in the sunrise with you, getting through all the bad times with you. I wasn't missing a thing, no I do. And I wish that I could build a time machine, 'cause time moves on, and now you're gone. Oh, if only I could build a time machine, I'd come and get you. I can't forget you. I miss you, I miss you, I miss you all the time. I wish that you were mine. I miss you, I miss you, I miss you.